Working good. How's it going, guys? Welcome back. This tent here used to be in my camping tent or tent camping rig setup. I had about 2 of these, and then my tent I kept in the bag. I've recently moved my tent and all the equipment into one of these, but this was my box with all my junk. Now I have my tent, and then I had one of these with some air mattresses and a pump in it. I don't know what's in here. I have a feeling I'm going to be pretty disappointed because over the years I feel like I've taken stuff out and never restocked it. So the idea is to go through it real quick, just kind of take like an inventory of what I have, see what needs to be replaced and replenished. Meanwhile, I'm going to throw some burgers, some brats, and hot dogs on the grill. And I'm going to come in here and see what we got. Yeah, that's looking pretty minimum. So that'll be good there, because like I said, it gave me a list of stuff that I have and what I need to replenish. So it's kind of like a lose-win, or a win-lose, where I can see what I got, so that's good, but now I got to go buy some stuff, so that's bad. But that's all right there. That's part of life, part of camping. Things slept great, by the way. But we did get some rain today, so I have to leave it all up because you can't have rain on the outside and then shut it in. That's what creates mold in here. So you got to let it dry out real good before you can put it back up. Not a big deal. I don't mind. That way it gives me a chance to come in here in the AC while I do this. Alright, let me go fire the grill up and put some burgers on. Gotta lock my door. Alright. Kind of a bummer I didn't have any brats. Thought I had brats. So we're just cooking burgers and hot dogs. It is what it is. I just cooked a couple extra hot dogs, but I use charcoal grill. Nothing wrong with a gas grill. I don't care. I got gas burners and cooktops and all that, but for my main grill outside, it is charcoal. That's just what I prefer. So I just lit it, and it's gotta take a little while to let charcoal get ready. So we're gonna go ahead and crack this bad boy open. And today we just got a Michelob Ultra for now. Very old storage too. Is there a year on it? I don't know. The sticker's wearing off, but you can see it's all beat up. Well, I'll just throw it in the back of the truck and throw another one on top of it. Used to have a Tacoma, silver 2011 Tacoma. That was my first truck. That was where we went to the mountains and everywhere with it. Traded out for a blue one and then Silverado that I didn't like, so back to another blue Tacoma with a stick in it, and that one to a gray Tacoma, and then the gray Tacoma to my truck now, because my family grew, so my truck grew. One day I'll get me another Tacoma though. First thing I see on top, everybody's probably got one of these set up somewhere. Another flat top, very ugly, needs to be cleaned. Check. I'll clean that off. Oh yeah, these things. So they're just kind of like no storage for your food. You pull the plastic off and put it up there, and you can just like to-goes. But I remember I bought these, and all I wanted was the bottom trays. And what I did was I took a bunch of rice, peppers, onions, and sausage, and like watered them for the rice, put it in here and put aluminum foil over it, and put a couple of holes in the foil, and I made a campfire. And I put the grill grate there, and I stuck it in there and threw some coals under it. And it cooked it all together, the sausage, the peppers, the onions, and the rice, and man, that was a really good meal. I might need to make one of those again. That was tasty. I remember that. Alright, a cast iron pan that's never been opened. It is a Pioneer Woman cast iron pan. Looks to be like an 8-incher maybe. Is there a number on it? Not sure, but it looks to be like a good 8 inches. Never been opened. Sweet. I need to season that up some. Extension cord. Those are always good to have. Spoon. Another spoon. Oh, these are supposed to go in that. Yeah, I thought it was a ring. Should be another one somewhere. Yeah. Ew, that's ugly. Alright, so that new set of these is on the list. Grease tray. I bet I use these, one for coffee and one for sugar. I bet that's what that's for. Yeah, there's not much stuff in here. Hand towel? Something like a hand towel? Oh. There's my tint brush. You know, no matter how hard you work to keep dirt out of a rig, you're going to get dirt in. Got 4 packs of these, and they're just little baskets, serving baskets. I can see only one of them's open. So, what's this? Thermometer? Yeah. Was. Thermometer. Probably never use that. Trash bags? Don't throw your trash on the ground. I'm good with like burning paper products, but don't burn like cans. I don't like that. I mean, unless you got a stupid hot enough fire to melt it, but then you have a melted pile of metal down there. I don't like burning plastic. Don't do it. Dispose of your crap properly, please. But if you got like a piece of paper, like actually paper and cardboard, like this cover here, I'm good with that. But or paper towels, I'm good with that. Don't throw plastic in there. All right. Electric air pump for the air mattress. Which one is this? Looks to be one, yeah, the one with the car connection, cigarette lighter connection. I have a battery one somewhere, and I have one that plugged into the wall somewhere. What's this, a drying mat? Yeah, dirty drying mat. Cool. Obviously that stuff needs to be washed. Another extension cord that is ugly, but I bet it works. I don't care what color it is. Napkins. You get 3 napkins. Be careful. Oh, hang on. You get 4 napkins. Good, 1 for each person. Oh, this is cool. When we did a lot of tent camping, we always tried to make sure we found places with water. And the idea was, that was our sink. We would take a pot, a couple of pots probably, and boil some hot water and put it on one side with some soap, some Dawn, and we'd wash our dishes. And then we'd put it over here and rinse them out. Take them somewhere and rinse them out. That way you didn't have dirty dishes, and you had some way to do it instead of sitting there and doing, you know, one by the riverbed or something like that. But I don't know how to fold it back up. That was a pretty cool little find. I don't know how it folds. If I go back on the video, I'll watch that. That looks like I went in there. And okay, now I got it now. I got it. Like that. Yeah. Pretty neat. Getting down to the bottom. Looks like some patches, a pen, and a Sharpie. I don't know, you might need to label something. We have, I would assume to be a very dull cutting knife. Very dirty one. That could probably be replaced. And our new utensils. A ladle, slotted spoon, a regular spoon, and a spatula. Yep. Guess where these guys are going? To the dump. Sorry fellas, it's been good. This is cool. I found this a long time ago and I've only used like 1 or 2. It's 50 sheets of soap. So I mean, obviously you just bring like a bar of soap and like, you know, use that, but this is always good to like just have in your pocket. If you're going hiking or somewhere and you get really disgusting, you just take, it's literally like a sheet. It's really thin and it just dissolves in your hands as soap. But that's what it is, just soap. It's just sliced up really thin. Those are really cool. think I found them at Walmart or Bass Pro. I don't go to Bass Pro very often. It's too expensive. I don't care for the name brand. Almost everything in here is Ozark Trail brand. Except for this though. I'm going to show you that in a second. Two pots that turn into pans, I believe, also. One's just a little bigger. No, they just turned into pots with lids. Yeah, I thought they turned into pans too, but there's that one. Yeah, I thought the lids were pots or pans. There's that one. We use these a lot. Well, did. Me and the wife used to go camping all the time in the mountains. In the old tent. We did take our whole pop up there one time. I'm taking this one up here. This is our second pop up. We had a hard-sided A-frame one. It was like a big triangle. That was really neat. But you don't have that extra space because it's literally a triangle. So if you're sitting on where like one end was a dinette table and the other end was a bed, but the dinette table turned into a bed also, you're sitting there eating breakfast, you had to hold your head like this because the thing is literally running right by your head. They make some where like it pops up, then it has like a rectangle flap that flaps up, so it gives you a little more headroom. They're really expensive. It was a really cool camper though, but we traded it for a big travel trailer, and then my in-laws, like I said before, gave us this one. So I've really considered getting another one just because of how easy they are to put up and how quick you can get them up, and the rain doesn't really bother it because it's hard-sided. But this one was free. And to get a new hard-sided one, even the basic model is like 12 or 13,000 if you can find one on sale. They go up to 20-something thousand, and it's a pop-up camper. I'm not paying for that. We use this all the time. And we did splurge on this. It is REI. I don't know if they still sell them. Like I said, when we went camping like this, that was probably around 2010, 2011. So it's 2025 now. This has not been used since then. But we did use it a lot. Top comes off, that's cutting board. And you can see we've used it. Maybe. I bought this spoon and put in there. It's just a bigger serving spoon. I thought I had two of them. Maybe I never went back and got another one, or the other one finally wore out. But I would just fold it down right there. And it's pretty neat because it all stays together for the most part. Here, your top comes off. That's where your eating utensils are. I think you got 4. Yep, 4 forks, 4 little knives, and 4 spoons. And in there, you got 4 cups like this for drinking. You got 4 like side dish cups, soup cups. And then at the bottom, you got 4 plates. So it's 4 of everything. 4 plates, 4 bowls, 4 drink cups, 4 utensils. And it all just kind of sits together. Put your serving spoon back in there. And your cutting board is, like I said, your lid. I really enjoy this. This is a really good setup. They make, man, you can find all kinds of variations, styles, sizes, colors, shapes, brands nowadays. But when I found out a long time ago, there weren't really many on the market. And it was just like the best thing since sliced bread in camper world to me. So that's it. That is kind of disappointing. I have a lot to buy. Give me some suggestions of stuff I need. I do have a double gas burner, like a camping stove where you pull the lid up. It's got 2 burners. I got one of them, those little propane tanks. I do have a portable camping blacktop or Blackstone that's about the size of this right here, and half of it is a griddle and the other half is a single burner. So I'm good on burners. I have air mattresses. I don't really have 2 cots. My tent is a basic 4-person Walmart tent. So I mean, it's standard, it works, but I might get a bigger one. Got a sleeping bag. I have a DeWalt battery powered job site fan. You know, it's like a portable fan that a DeWalt battery plugs into, and you turn it on and it just blows air. I got one of them. I do not have a heater. Not one that I would really recommend putting in a tent, at least. I have like a building heater that's just got this, that you hook up to one of them 20-gallon propane tanks. And it's just like this big, red, angry looking eye that you stick on top of it and light on fire. Not ideal for a tent. Although I did put it in here one night because it was stupid cold and I was cooking something on the smoker. And it was really cold in here. So I put it on the floor and lit it for about 5 minutes. And this whole place got hot. And I just took it back out. There's enough airflow in here. I'm not too worried about the CO2 levels. I do have, as I got those electric cords, I do have like some real extension cords that I use at the shop. And I can carry an electric heater, I guess. I don't know, give me some thoughts on some stuff. What else do I need? Obviously I'm missing a lot of stuff. So I need some ideas. Guess I'll just start packing this back up. Yeah, I'm glad I found these though, because that really sparked the old tater. Makes me want to do that now. And I have a fire pit here that I made, and I have a cooking grate that I've never used, but it's under my shelter, so it's still nice and clean. And I might have to make some. Not tonight though, because I'm doing burgers and dogs, not brats apparently. I'm kind of upset about that, not gonna lie about it. Really wanted me a brat. But I checked the freezer. I got a deep chest freezer in my building. Anytime I buy meat or find meat on sale, I grab as much as I can. Because I'm not gonna lie, stuff's expensive these days. So I grab what I can, as much as I can, and then I throw it in the freezer. So I got 4 mouths to feed between me and my wife and my 2 littles. And they're getting older, bigger, and that means they're eating a lot. Which I'm glad I'm able to do it. No kids should go hungry. I've been through plenty of tough times. If you go back to some of my stories, you'll hear me open them up. Not gonna go into that. Go back and look. Yeah, I don't know if I should just throw that away or not. Man, that's kind of crappy. But I don't have anything to replace it with yet. So I do have a knife sharpener in the building. Good cleaning and good sharpening. And obviously I need to find something to put it in so it's not just hanging out in there, right? For somebody to grab it with little hands. I always try and put it with the blades down, but these things get tossed around and everything moves. That's a really good trick here. Oh, you know what would be good? They make foldable, like little metal wire rakes, and you open them up and the blades fan out, so you got a nice footprint. Then they can fold up to like a really tight spot like this. That way you can rake your campsite. And get all the pine straw or the sticks or the whatever the gumball things are that hurt when you lay on. Yeah, and some people say put a tarp down and then put your tent. But that's also why I use this. I don't just ball my tent up into a ball. I actually break it down and then fold it in half and take that brush and brush it off. Fold it in half, brush it off, fold it in half again, brush it off until it gets to like a nice little spot. Then I can pick it up and brush it off and throw it in my bag. But tarp's not a bad idea. All right, that's going in the trash. Well, that is that. That was a quick one. Like I said, let me know what some stuff you recommend. I could really use some recommendations. The community is vast and large, so throw them out there. There's all kinds of stuff I don't even know about. It's been a while since I've camped like this. I'm gonna do a little more work in here again while my burgers are cooking. Alright, burgers are cooking good. Got my outdoor AC on right here, so hopefully it's not too loud. I'll turn it down on low. Just be careful with it. It doesn't have a cage on it. So back to what I was saying about give me some ideas of stuff we need. A couple things popped in my head a while ago while I was getting my burgers on. I'll take you over there and show them to you. There's only 4 up there, which is kind of sad. Because I wanted some brats to put up there as well at the same time. My daughter likes hot dogs. She's 4, so she's still got the little tiny teeth, and sometimes the burgers are kind of a little more challenging for her to eat, so she likes the hot dogs. Son wanted burgers, so I'm cooking burgers. That's fine. Still not getting enough brats. That's fine. I'm gonna get some. So that REI silverware set that I showed you a while ago, I forgot to tell you, when you take everything out, it was advertised and listed, I believe. The actual container itself could also dual purpose as like I don't want to say like a serving dish, but you could put stuff in it. But I think it was advertised as like a wash bin, where you put some soap and hot water in it. Because it's just it's like a little tiny sink. So you could also use that to wash the dishes to put back in there. So it's kind of like an all-in-one. It was really neat. I enjoy using it. I'm not trying to say go buy one or nothing, but they are nice to have occasionally. Some pretty basic stuff that I like to keep though is some wipe-all paper towels. Some baby wipes are always good. I don't have any. I thought about that earlier today. Baby wipes would be good to have just to wipe things down or your hands real quick. And you can throw them in the fire. And always a first aid kit. I've got a first aid kit everywhere just about. And you don't have to have anything fancy. You can literally buy Band-Aids, gauzes, cotton balls, Tylenol, ibuprofen, aspirin, whatever you want, and then just put them in a Ziploc bag. And as long as you keep them out of the direct exposure of sunlight, you'll be pretty good. You don't have to go buy a camping first aid kit. You can go buy basic stuff or go in your house, assuming you actually have some of that stuff in your house. I do. I mean, I'm pretty accident prone. My kids are definitely accident prone, so we keep that stuff. Just go get some of what you have in your house and kind of like gauge how much you need per person at a time. Not like every trip someone's going to fuck up and need 10 Band-Aids. Nah, just be like, all right, I got 4 people. Let's say 2 Band-Aids a piece. So we'll just put 8 in there. And then over the months, you use one, you'll be like, okay, put another one back in there. Stuff like that. Recommend ibuprofen, Tylenol, or some kind of allergy stuff, because you get out there in the woods and the bugs and they start stinging you. You never know what you're going to get. I used to have some burn gel, but guess who got burnt and used it? So I don't have any more of that. That stuff does work. And I used to have a bunch of what they call like hot hands or something like that. It's literally like these little foil packets, and you rub them together or something. You break them up or something like that and rub it all together, and it just gets like really warm. It don't get stupid hot where it's gonna burn you, but it does a good job to put like on the outside of your hands and your pockets. Well, when you got gloves on, or even in your gloves, just be careful and put them on the inside so you don't. They do get a little warm, so if your hands are really cold, it might start stinging just a little bit. But they're just good to have on really cold nights. Let me go get my wipe-alls. I'll show you them real quick. So I like to keep these in the building at all times. I keep these in the building. They're just like really strong paper towels. You just pull them out at a time. They're really durable, really absorbent. I actually keep one in every vehicle and one in the building at all times. They're just good to have. And I've got to where I keep one of these in the building too. These are supposed to come out like these automated machines, but they're soft. They're a lot softer than this. So I mean, they're very strong and durable and absorbent, but they're soft at the same time. So they work good for blowing your nose, or if you wash your hands off and it's wet and then blow your nose. It still holds the snot and doesn't break, but it's so soft it doesn't hurt your nose. Plus, you get in a bind. I mean, you can clean with it. But that's what I got, and that's just some basic stuff that I like to keep. So, like I said, throw them ideas out there. It just only helps people. All right, so this is kind of sad. The only reason I wanted to really show you what I got going on here is not what I'm cooking. Like I said, there's only 4 burgers up here right now. I like to cook them a little bit, and then I'll put my wieners on. And if you go watch that Spam video, I slow cook my wieners too. Yeah, I bought these because they're on sale. I don't know anything about them, but I wanted to show you this. That is my burger flipper. Look at that. It's a wiener. The reason I wanted to show you that is because my son stayed off one weekend. Yeah, it's about time to start cheesing these things. My son stayed off one weekend with his grandparents and came home with that. He had to buy Dad a gift. And that's what he bought me. It's even got a bottle from the bottom of it. It's a spatula. Got little ketchup bottles and all that on it. It's a wiener, man. How awesome is that? Alright. You guys have a good one.